Welcome to the Pesky Report, a podcast for Red Sox fans. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Pesky Report. This is episode 198, brought to you by Belly Up Sports Media. My name is Brad Chandler. I am back. I have not been on an episode in probably 2 weeks?
Something like that. Friggin' finally, man. I was going through Brad Chandler withdrawal. I'm tweaking out here.
With me today, as you can hear, my good friend Ed Hand. How we doing, boss?
Man, it's pure chaos on the Twitter right now. Pure chaos in the baseball world, and I am here for it.
Yes, it is. We will be talking about some of the chaos that has been going on. The name of the episode is Arson, Chaos, and Hall of Fame. Oh, my. Also with us, we have our friend Tim. How are we doing, boss?
What's up? How are you guys? I'm great.
I love that we get last names and Tim doesn't.
No, Tim's too no. Honestly, it's because I don't even know his last name.
That's okay. My last name is Watson.
Oh, it's Twatson.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, I got it now.
You can just call me Twat.
I'm fine with that.
I won't. I respect you. I respect you too much.
Speaking of twats, there are way too many of them on Twitter right now. But John Heyman is definitely one of them. But guys, we've got some stuff that's going on. We've got some news going on in the baseball world. We've got Arson Judge, who was formerly known as Aaron Judge. We've got Fred McGriff, who just got he's going to be inaugurated into the Hall of Fame or whatever. And then we've got signings left here. Then we got signings right here. We got Heim striking out by everybody. Where do we want to start, guys? Should we start where the big one is? Like Franchy Cordero signs with the Orioles?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Huge
that's the big one. Not only did they bring in Red Sox legend Franchy Cordero, they brought in Nomar Mazara on a minor league contract, probably the DH.
Franchy's going to hit he's going to get called up to Camden, and they're going to be like, all right, he's going to hit the ball so fucking far, and it's still not going to go out of Camden because they moved that fucking wall.
Well, that's only if he goes opposite field. I mean, he's still gonna, if he ever hits.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Ball.
Why the fuck did I think he was a righty? Yeah, you're right.
Was Willie Mopena a righty? Because I get them confused sometimes.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Willie Mo is a righty.
But yeah, no, Franchi was definitely the biggest deal so far. No pitchers have signed or anything like that.
Not a single pitcher or shortstop, nothing, anything like that. We could also, I do actually want to start with the Red Sox news. I found something out. I'm wearing the hat right now. I was a little disappointed in finding this out, but the Portland Sea Dogs had been sold to Diamond Baseball Holdings. And the sale is expected to be completed by the end of 2022. And from my understanding, this ends a nearly 3 decades of family ownership. What are your thoughts, Ed?
Minor leaguer. I mean, it's interesting that they've had the team for this long because minor league teams change hands pretty frequently. Honestly, I don't know that much about the history of the ownership of the team. I just know that the Sea Dogs put on a great show, and it's a lovely stadium there, and I hope that doesn't change.
I have to actually – I feel like an asshole. I said inaugurated instead of inducted. Did you hear that?
I mean, I did, but I don't think anybody would have said anything about it.
I was just going to let it slide.
Yeah.
I couldn't let it slide. I was like, wait a minute, that is not the word I needed to use. I'm not I don't know what to think because I know that Diamond Holdings, Diamond Baseball Holdings owns 8 minor league baseball teams. So I'm a little, I don't know. We'll see what happens. The next thing I wanted to talk about is the Red Sox striking out or coming in second. It seems like there's a lot of signings that have been going on where the Red Sox end up coming in second. One of them was earlier today. I don't know how to say his last name, but Tommy Conley, is that
Canley.
Canley?
Yeah.
And so like they came in second with this guy, and everybody's just like losing their shit.
Can I tell you though, my favorite part, because I know you're going into Maz, I'm going to go on the opposite end and go to Dan Shaughnessy, who 10 minutes before that it went down that he was going to the Yankees was tweeting about how the Red Sox are, because it had been rumored that Connell was going to the Red Sox, and Shaughnessy tweets out his usual dumpster diving. Why do we want this guy? Everybody's up in arms. Oh, why are we going after this guy? Second he goes to the Yankees, it becomes, oh shit, second place again. Chaim can't close a deal. Make up your goddamn mind, guys.
I'm tired of that. The whole you made a post earlier about Maz saying something about like Chris Martin, and like not anything has been, not one thing has been said about him about that signing.
You know why? Quietly sexy.
Yeah, how can you not acknowledge Coldplay has found a home in Boston?
About time, you know? Which Coldplay song? Because I know you're their number one fan, Tim. What do you want his Coldplay walkout music to be?
Yellow. It's got to be Yellow.
He didn't even fucking think about that. I don't either. But like he literally
just dramatic. It's dramatic. It has to be something dramatic. Right. That's like the only song I know by them too. So
yeah, staying on focus though. What did you guys think of the Martin signing? I haven't gotten to talk to anybody about that yet.
Honestly, don't know much about him. I'm only going by like what you guys have been talking about him and whatnot. I don't hate it. I'm not a dumpster diving type person. I'm the type of person where it's like, let's see where it goes.
Ed, what number did you have him ranked on your bullpen ranking?
He was in the 70s or something like that, I think. Let me get that up so I can check.
Okay.
But I will say that what I like about Martin more than anything else is just the profile for him for the Red Sox. You got to remember that for my tracker, it's for all of baseball. It's not just for the Red Sox.
His walk rate was like way low, right?
Yeah, he doesn't walk anyone.
He walked five people in 56 innings last year. Struck out at he was 77, by the way.
That in itself is sexy enough for me.
Yeah. I heard, when he first came over, I heard a couple of people saying, oh, he's going to be the closer. And that's interesting because he doesn't really have closing experience, but I get why people would say that just because he doesn't walk people. And that was something that Papelbon and Koji both had in common. He was originally, he came up with the Red Sox. He was not drafted though. He was signed from the Independent League by Theo Epstein in 2011, got traded in 2013, went over to Japan, had some success there, came back in 2018. So it's sort of a homecoming for him at age 36. But I like it. I like it as a setup guy. There needs to be more than just that move, obviously, but I thought it was a nice start.
Brad, back to your point about the whole second place thing. Like they haven't, like the guys they finished second place to, none of them are really notable free agents.
I'm just, obviously I'm going by what Twitter's going.
Yeah, I know.
Dumpster diving, second place. Chaim strikes out again. We're not part of the Bloominati, but we don't hate Bloom and any of the moves that he really makes. We do realize that this is a make or break type off season for Bloom. So it's like, we'll see. But people are pissed off because he didn't go and get Jacob deGrom, didn't go get Justin Verlander. It's like, come on, guys, really? 5 years, $185 million. You really wanted to spend that on a pitcher who's going to end up being on the IL like Chris Sale? We've already got one.
It's actually a really interesting conversation with the Verlander and the deGrom signings because I think that the Verlander signing was excellent. Really
Yeah,
good signing by the Mets. I think the deGrom signing was pretty stupid for the Rangers. So
They're banking on him starting like 30 games a year, and that's just not a good thing to bank on.
I think 10.
You think 10?
I think 10 games this year in 2023.
I want to be optimistic and say he'll throw 25 games.
I mean, that's good. How many innings?
Let me do some.
130.
130.
That's like at a high. High.
wait, 10 starts, 130 innings. That's going to be like he's going extra innings every start.
No, I'm just gonna give him 130 innings most. Fuck off, Ed.
I just like imagine the game that takes him out. It's like some 30 he pitches every inning for.
I'll say around 150.
No, you're wrong. What about you, Ed?
I don't know, 130, half a season. It's just, I mean, if we're being consistent with what he's done the last few years, like, and, you know, like, just, fine. Like, maybe he doesn't get hurt this time around. Maybe the physical he passed, he did really well. The Mets were being overly cautious. I don't know. But history doesn't look good, especially as he hits his mid-30s.
Right, exactly. All right, so before we start talking about any of the free agents and the signings and whatnot, I saw your little video this morning with Bradfo. That was pretty cool. I love how excited you got there. So Fred McGriff he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. He only needed 12 of the 16 votes. Interesting here. Like, you've got Theo, who's on that board, and you got Kim Ng, who's on that board as well. I thought that was pretty cool. Fred was the only player that was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame, get all 16 votes. And Bonds, Clemens, Schilling all fell short, obviously. Speaking of Bonds, Clemens, and Schilling, were you guys shocked that they still fell short?
Not really. I mean, it really wasn't a surprise to me. I wanted them to get in, but I didn't really expect them to. So my expectations were pretty much just met, and I wasn't that surprised.
Yeah, it was already weird for me that they were on the ballot, this ballot, like a year after, you know, being removed from the other ones. So I think that they need to, if they are going to get in, and I think eventually they will, got to give it a little more time to marinate.
How long are they allowed to stay on this ballot?
It's not. It alternates every year, so it's indefinite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're gonna have guys getting in like 30 years from now. It's just through the committee. But I think it's a different ballot every year. Also, like it was a different one last year. They'll have more opportunities though.
So Ed, Mr. Psyched and whatnot, why don't you talk about why you're excited that Fred McGriff got elected?
So what Brad is alluding to here is that I had an appearance on the Baseball Isn't Boring podcast with Rob Bradford and found out that Fred McGriff was elected into the Hall of Fame live and had a very enthusiastic reaction to this. I think I did a clap, and yeah, I was really happy about it. And that was as genuine of a response as I'm going to have to anything. But here's the thing. McGriff is one of those guys that I grew up watching play. He was on the Braves. He was on the Rays. Saw some Braves on TBS. Saw the Rays in town a lot for the when they were playing the Red Sox. So it was somebody that I remembered very well. And it was somebody that had, I think it was 493 homers, I want to say. Just double checking this right now. But 493 career home runs. He was 7 off from 500. Imagine if he had hit 500, no steroid rumors or anything like that. It doesn't go to the committee for it. He gets
imagine if the strike didn't happen.
Right, exactly. In 1994, he would have had those 7 home runs easily. How was he doing in 94 anyway? Oh yeah, he was an all-star. He was hitting 318 with he already had 34 home runs that year. 34 home runs the strike season. He could have won an MVP that year with how he was going. You know, 623 slugging percentage, 94 RBIs at that point. 113 games into the season. So, you know, he has a little. It's one of those players that if there's a tiny bit more on the resume, if he has an MVP, if he has a couple more Silver Sluggers, if he hits 7 more home runs, is in the Hall of Fame. And at that point, just Harold Baines is in there. Just put him in. You know, people like the guy. He had those cool videos where he was like teaching hitting or whatever that I used to see get advertised on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, didn't he have? Wasn't that like VHS tapes you could buy of him hitting?
Yeah, I have them actually.
Oh.
Somewhere in my parents' house, we have those. I think there was a Yankee one that we had also. I want to say Dave Winfield, but I'm not positive. But yeah, we had a bunch of those, and I don't think I ever watched them.
Carlos Baraga.
Yep.
He has a rumor that Carlos Correa is going to the Giants.
I could see it.
With Aaron Judge. He has them both going to the Giants.
I will say that Bellinger is very reliable. He had Verlander. He had Marcus Semien to Toronto. He's pretty well connected, so it wouldn't surprise me. I've yet to see him post something where it's like, oh, Carlos Bellinger said it. Well, that was bullshit. I've never seen that happen, so wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, the Giants. Holy shit, dude. All right. So, McGriff, congratulations.
Taking a bite out of the Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Yep.
God, I'm on a roll with these cliches this week.
Yeah. All right. All right, guys. So let's talk about some signings that ended up happening. We had a couple big ones this week. We had Verlander, 2 years, $86.7 million, which includes a vesting option for 2025 worth $35 million. Wow. Uncle Stevie literally just said, I don't care. We're going to get the 2013 Detroit Tigers pitching staff back together. Whatever it means.
You know who is still a free agent from that class too? Anibal Sanchez.
Yep.
I think Drew Smiley was with that team, actually, if I remember correctly. Just bring him back.
Yep, Drew Smiley. I saw $86 million for 2 years, and I was just like, what the, like, who else would have competed with that?
No one. If anyone, the Dodgers.
The Dodgers, but only pre-Trevor Bauer.
Oh my God, I completely forgot about him.
That was something that I was saying to Bradford when I was on there on Sunday. Was like, imagine if the Mets are about to get Verlander and the Dodgers just swoop in and grab him right before they can do it.
What were your guys' thoughts when you heard $86 million for 2 years?
I wasn't surprised. Uncle Stevie always unloads the pockets.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised either, especially this is in immediate retaliation to deGrom signing. You knew he was going to do something, and you knew it was probably going to be around Verlander because the next guy is Carlos Rodon, and Rodon isn't an upgrade over deGrom. Verlander, I actually think, is an upgrade over deGrom. 2022 AL Cy Young. Definitely back from that Tommy John now. Appears to be
World
stronger
Series,
than ever.
A second World Series champ. He's actually won a game in the World Series.
Also, totally. He always does do well against the Yankees also. So, crosstown rivals and all that if they're playing more. Didn't surprise me. It's a ridiculous amount of money for a guy in their 40s, but I always compare Verlander to Tom Brady. He's sort of like the baseball equivalent to him. So, if anybody's can make it worth that much, it's him.
Are you considering Verlander a sex god?
He's not Tyler Glass now.
That's
fair enough. So we got a signing to the Phillies that actually could affect someone that we're going after, or who was on our team. We got Trey Turner, who signed with the Phillies for 11 years, $300 million. Thoughts?
Ed, I'll let you go first on this one.
Um, I feel like my initial reaction was, wow, that's a really good deal. And I still more or less feel that way. I think he's getting 27 million each year for 11 years. So
Yeah.
it's Turner's the best of the shortstop class. If you look at his numbers, they're remarkably similar to Barry Larkin's at this point in his career. And Larkin's a Hall of Famer. So if you could lock up a Hall of Famer who was able to perform towards the end of his career, you do that. He's going back he wanted to go to the East Coast. He's playing with his wingman, Bryce Harper again. They're going to be growing old together. It's going to be interesting to see where the team is at when these contracts, run by the end. Harper doesn't seem like the kind of player that's going to age terribly well. Turner has a lot of speed in his game, so I could see that being a problem as he gets older. But how many games was it in the World Series that they won? They went down. It was Game 6, right?
Yeah, they lost in Game 6.
Yeah, you're 2 games away from the World Series. If you think that this guy can put you over the top, and he very well might be able to, you do it. It's the Dombrowski method. It's tried and true. He wanted his guy. He got him.
I absolutely love the signing. I mean, you're paying him $27 million until he's 40 years old, but Dombrowski's done it time and time again. He's not afraid to shell out that kind of money till somebody's that age. It makes a lot of sense because, like Ed was saying, he is the guy who could potentially get you over that hump if your pitching can hold up to the way that lineup can hold up. So I really like that signing for them, and I also really like it because it gets them out of Xander sweepstakes.
That, my friend, is one of the things that made me really like that signing. The other thing that has me kind of like meh about the signing is that, well, he signed for 11 years, $300 million. And I mean, what's that? You said it was 27?
Something like that.
It's $27.2 million a year. So what does that mean for Xander?
I think you're gonna have to give Xander 8 years, $200 million at least. Like, that's the lowest, I think, at this point. That would put you at 25 a year.
Well, let me ask you a question. This is something because I've seen a lot of takes on Bogaerts lately, a lot of takes on the state of the shortstop class. Who are the real contenders for Bogaerts, and how can they afford to give him that kind of a deal? Because with Turner, he's somebody that puts you over the edge like that. I don't think any of these teams need Bogaerts more than the Red Sox do. I think that I just can't see the Dodgers paying him that kind of money. I can see the Cubs doing it maybe if they miss out on Swanson, but there are more options available for them. I just can't see them going that deep on Bogaerts. I really can't.
I'll give you 2 teams that come to mind, Ed. You said one of them. So first the Cubs, and then the second one that I think is the sleeper is the Padres. I could see AJ Preller doing something crazy, screwing up their payroll, and just handing him all kinds of money. It's kind of like the Machado situation all over again. You didn't expect him to go there, but he ended up there.
The problem with that was that there was a clear spot for Machado to play on the team. Where do you put Bogaerts? He's not a better fielder than Kim. Machado's at third base, so you can't really move him there. Who do they have at second base? Cronenworth? I guess maybe you put Xander there and use him as a true utility guy, but does he even want to go to second base? It just doesn't seem like a fit.
Shortstop.
And you have Tatis there, too. Like, Tatis is going to have to play somewhere.
Weren't they talking about playing Tatis in the outfield, though? I don't know how that's going to play, but I honestly could see it. I don't know why. It's the crazy thing that you wouldn't expect that I think could happen.
I do. So, again, this is, I forget who I said this to, but specifically, you remember the first wave of, this is Xander's top suitors, where it was like the Padres and the Phillies, and then it became Cubs and the Diamondbacks, and now we're kind of like at the Cubs and maybe the Dodgers, maybe the Twins. I remember with that first wave with the Padres, I said, I can't see him going to the Padres, but he probably will because it makes absolutely no goddamn sense. So I can see it for that exact reason. So we'll see.
I mean, fit-wise, it doesn't make sense, but they're trying to contend, so any way you can make your lineup better makes sense.
Yeah, but there are other options than that, and I feel like they need more help in the outfield. They need somebody at first base. I guess they could put him there, and he wouldn't be a bad mentor. I heard somebody talking about how like they want mentorship for Tatis. I don't think he'd be a bad mentor for Tatis, but again, there has to be a fit on the team.
Cronenworth's played first base as well.
Could work.
Orsello could be the mentor. All right.
That barbecue.
What'd you say?
I'd go to that barbecue, the Orsello Tatis father's son. Poor Fernando Tatis Sr.'s not allowed to go.
So then we already talked about a little bit, but deGrom went to the Rangers. He signed a 5-year, $185 million. Ridiculous contract. I don't know what the Rangers are doing, but I mean, they do have a new coach, a new old coach who's won a couple World Series as well. So we'll see. We've all kind of agreed with Tim. Did you agree that the deGrom signing was kind of reckless?
No.
You don't think it was reckless?
No, I'm going to be optimistic about it. He's going to make 31 starts next year. Mark it down.
You said 25.
Well, I was trying not to be overly optimistic, but I'm just going to go for it.
Okay, so you're just psychotic.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been on here. I'm feeling a little psychotic tonight.
I like Crazy Tim. Crazy Tim's like just in the background. You guys can't see it. He's like snorting lines of coke before he says things. Like, this is... I'm watching some crimes happen here. I'm not saying anything about it.
Well, he's in good old Colombia right now, getting that good cocaine. I don't know. I'm with the Rangers are absolutely nuts. I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Honestly, if I had an honest take on it, I'm kind of indifferent because when healthy, I still think he is the best pitcher in baseball, but it's just a matter of him staying healthy. And if their medical staff can be a lot better than the Mets medical staff, then the deal will work itself out. But if not, then they screwed themselves.
$37 million a year, dude. You think that deGrom is worth $37 million?
When healthy, yes.
And when has he been fucking healthy?
It's been a while, but
doesn't he have 3 Cy Young awards?
Yeah.
So I would assume those seasons, but you're right. It has been a hot minute. You see the other guy they're bringing in, though, the Rangers, to be his wingman.
The Heen dog.
I am so happy the Red Sox did, because every time I saw them linked him, I was like, please no, please no, please no.
So the Rangers signed Andrew Heaney for 2 years, $25 million. The fact that this dude's getting $25 million for like any amount of years is ridiculous. Like, that just makes me think, it's like, fuck, what did I do wrong? Like, where did I go wrong?
You didn't throw a baseball enough.
I will tell you, you didn't. Are you left-handed, Brad?
I am.
Okay, then I don't know what. Like, why didn't you focus more on that?
I'm not.
Why didn't you strengthen that arm? Because you could have a job until you're like 70 if you can throw that. You know?
Yeah, not concerned about Andrew Heaney. There was one other Red Sox thing I wanted to talk about, and I forgot to mention it earlier. I don't know if you guys saw, but Sean McAdams posted that the Red Sox are stating that Bobby Dahlbeck is available, and the Tampa Bay Rays have shown interest.
I don't care where he goes, just ship him off.
Are you fucking kidding me? The fact that the Rays are the ones that are interested in him, that concerns me.
He'll probably become a 30-30 player there.
He's going to be the next Babe Ruth.
Something crazy will happen. Tampa Bay will fix him, and I'll be sulking, but it's okay.
Bobby's going to hit 730-something home runs just with the Tampa Bay Rays.
Bobby.
Imagine
they need to move some of the crap off the roster, so I'm okay with it.
No, I'm fine with it too. But I mean, the fact that the Rays team is connected to it is the one that's like, fuck.
You know who crushes the Red Sox that would intrigue me in a Dahlbeck trade? Yandy Diaz. I would be very interested in.
Why would they do that though? Why would they trade Yandy Diaz? No, that's a clear downgrade.
Not straight up. Like, you would have to include something else in it, but
him and
as your
DH.
But as your DH going forward, if you could get Yandy Diaz from the Bloom Tampa connection somehow. I'm not saying straight up, Ed.
Yeah, that's when you throw on Duran and you Yandy Diaz for Dahlbeck and Durant.
I think that we have to make a trade with the Phillies to bring in Miguel, not the Phillies, the Pirates to bring in Miguel Andujar and throw him in. So it'll become like a 3-party trade.
And then sign Quinn Frazier.
Yeah, no, Frazier. Frazier can stay though. He's fine.
All right, guys. Moving forward, a couple like under the radar type signings and whatnot. This one was kind of funny. I saw that Boston Strong said that the Cubs are serious after this signing. I'm a fan of Boston Strong, but I have to say, boss, that was that. I don't care if you say that, oh, they're in on Xander Bogaerts or not, but signing Cody Bellinger to a 1-year, $17.5 million contract does not make you serious. Bellinger had, 150 strikeouts last year?
He hit 208 last year.
That was actually better than his 2021, so it's not like this was just like a 1-year flame out. He's been pretty bad since was he okay his COVID year? The COVID year, I don't even remember, but 2007.
The only thing I really remember about Belly is the fact that he's an uppercut swinger, isn't he? He's
Something
not a straight through. I think when was his MVP season?
2019, I believe.
I think that was his last good season.
Yeah, I don't think he was good in the COVID year. I'm trying to look it up right now.
I mean, the COVID year doesn't really mean anything. So
yeah.
No, apologies to Jose Abreu and Freddie Freeman, but it doesn't really mean anything. But I saw that tweet and was kind of like, well, I guess if this is, does he know something that we don't? Are they bringing in Dansby Swanson or Xander Bogaerts or something with this? But we haven't heard anything about that. So at least as of the moment of recording this, it's just Bellinger. And it's if he figures it out, then great. He's a good fielder. He's still, I think, only 26, so he's young. But I don't know. It's a high-risk, high-reward move.
This one kind of disappointed me because this is somebody I was hoping the Sox would be in on. Josh Bell signs a 2-year, $33 million contract with the Guardians, and he has an opt-out after the 2023 season. Thoughts?
Oh,
have you guys seen the Cleveland tourism video?
No.
Okay, I'm going to show it to you after this, and if you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor and look this up. There are 2 of them. I think it's called like the hastily made Cleveland tourism video. And I'm relatively sure that this is how, like, my sources are telling me that this is how they recruited Josh Bell.
Made?
What was that?
What is it called?
Hastily made Cleveland tourism video. It's something like that. If you can share it, I think Tim needs to see it because it's pretty important for how they market to their players.
I mean, Josh Bell is now the oldest player on their roster, so that's kind of interesting.
He's not the highest paid though, because they still have Jose Ramirez on that sweetheart deal.
Fun times in Cleveland again. Still Cleveland. Come on down to Cleveland town, everyone. Under construction since 1868. See our river that catches on fire. It's so polluted that all our fish have AIDS. We see the sun almost 3 times a year. This guy has at least 2 DUIs. Flats look like a Scooby-Doo ghost town. Don't slow down in East Cleveland or you'll die. Our economy's based on LeBron James. Buy a house for the price of a VCR. Our main export is crippling depression. We're so retarded that we think this is art. It could be worse, though. At least we're not Detroit.
Yo, that's the best video I think I've ever seen.
Doesn't it make you want to sign with Cleveland? I would have done it.
Holy shit. That is actually funny. If you haven't seen that, it's on our YouTube page, or you can just look it up. Hastily made Cleveland tourism video.
There are 2 of them. That was the second one.
That was the second attempt. Oh, I kind of want to say the. It ends with "We're not Detroit."
Which, to be fair, the Guardians significantly better than the Tigers. So I think that was made about 10 years ago. Because some of the language there, not appropriate by today's standards. Still true that Cleveland's better than Detroit, though.
Fun times in Cleveland today. Cleveland. Come on down to Cleveland town, everyone. Come and look at both of our buildings. Buy some food that's prepared near the street. Who knows, you might even see this guy. You should come on down to West 6th Street. It's the perfect place if you're a douchebag. Watch the poor people all wait for buses. Who the fuck still uses a payphone? Here's the place where there used to be industry. This train is carrying jobs out of Cleveland. Cleveland leads the nation in drifters. Here's a statue of Moses Cleveland. He's the guy who invented Cleveland. Yeah!
I think I'm showing my age on this because you guys haven't done.
Times in Cleveland again. Still Cleveland.
Oh, that's just the second one.
Ed, I
I'm
just have
fired up.
one question.
Yeah.
How do you find those?
Yeah, like how did
It was big when I was in college. So like 2010, 2009, it went viral around then. I don't know if any, like maybe this was just a UMass thing. I don't know, but I remember like thinking it was the funniest thing ever when I was 19, and honestly holds up pretty well.
it's actually really, really funny. I think I like it. I like it a lot. All right, so we have one more signing that ended up happening that I wanted to talk about, and then we can start rambling about whatever nonsense we need to chat about. Mike Clevenger signed with the Chicago White Sox, 1 year, $12 million.
It's an interesting deal.
Well, he's their number 4 or number 5 starter, whatever.
I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That checks out.
It does. That does check out. So, all right, Edward. What else do we have to talk about?
Oh man. Do you guys actually, I mean, what are your thoughts on the winter meetings? Do you like that all of this action is kind of focused on this one point, or would you rather, like, do you not give a shit?
Oh, I love it. I don't like when it drags out like it did the last few years without them. I don't think they're necessarily needed anymore with the way technology has advanced, but I like that they still happen.
I like the sporadic and not sporadic, but the chaos that's going on. Speaking of chaos, we got to talk about Arson Judge as well.
Oh, yeah, that's a big detail to leave out.
And John Heyman. But I like it, but I don't like it. I wish it was more spread out instead of just all at once. You know, like, should Aaron Judge sign, as we're talking? No, I don't think so. Like, I think it would be fucking hilarious because the Yankee fans and Yankee Twitter is just going absolutely bonkers with like things like John Heyman. Arson Judge is close to signing with he's going to sign with the Giants, and then Yankee fans are getting crazy and whatever, and then it's like, Aaron Judge, I was told by the Giants that they're not close to a deal yet. It's like this kind of chaos is literally like everybody's literally checking their phones.
Yeah.
Every
yeah.
10 seconds.
I mean, the thing that's really funny to me, at least, just from having been to journalism school and everything, is just Heyman not doing two major things before that tweet. One, he didn't check his sources, and two, he didn't check his spelling. And I don't listen, like, yeah, Heyman's a Yankee fan. He's a Boris puppet. He's a good reporter, though. I don't have any personal beef with him. But just like looking at it from the professional perspective there, it was like, what are you doing, dude? Like, it's not, I kind of hate this, like, you have to have it first or it doesn't count thing. Like, you'll have your scoops. You don't have to have this one. At least, like, don't embarrass yourself.
He pulled a boob Nightingale. This is exactly what happened.
This is the year of Bob. Good guy Bob. Sweet Bob, who tried to save us from the strike last year and failed pretty miserably, but seems like a good guy. I was saying this yesterday. You know what Bob Nightingale is? He's the guy who buys donuts for your entire office and doesn't tell anyone he did it. He's a good guy.
I honestly think he is that type of person.
Right? Doesn't he just seem? He just seems like a real sweetie.
I'd like to get Nightingale on the show.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
Like, I don't know if he's the best of the national reporters, but he is the one I'd want to hang out with the most.
I feel like
if
he'd be cool to like smoke a bone with or fucking drink a beer with or whatever.
I feel like Passan would just be dunking on me the entire time, or Passan, or however you pronounce. He'd just be like super verbally abusive, and I'd leave with like crippling like anxiety, just like questioning myself. I'd probably like it wouldn't be good. Like he just,
questioning
I
all
just
your
feel,
life choices.
Yeah,
Hassan is also another one I would probably I'd smoke a bone with.
If I could hang out with anyone, it'd be Ken Rosenthal.
No, Bowtie's got us blocked for some reason.
Oh,
I'm taller than him, so at least I like that part. Like, that's unusual for me, so that's pretty
Bro,
cool.
there's like, what do you mean you're not that short, Ed?
I'm like 5'7". Like I'm not tall. But I
Uh,
tower over Ken Rosenthal. He is like a baby compared to me.
I don't remember you being that short.
I think you were just so impressed by being within my aura or whatever that I look
That
taller.
day, like the fact, I told you how much I got that ticket for, right?
Yeah, after I spent like 280 on mine.
I got mine for 47.
This was if this was for the ALCS in 2021, the game where Schwarber hit that grand slam. So
I wasn't there for that
game.
yet. I wasn't there for that yet.
That was
the
right
one
by where I was sitting. It was great.
That was the game Erod fucking did the watch thing.
Yeah. Now he's on a different team.
Yeah, and his wife is doing this.
All right, so here's a question for you guys. Actually, who do you want the Red Sox next move to be, and who do you think the Red Sox next move will be?
Tim?
Oh, you want me to go first? All right. Okay, so I think the Red
always
Sox
want you first.
I think the Red Sox next move is probably, I don't want to put a name to it, but I'm going to say another reliever.
I want you to put a name to it, Tim.
All right.
That's how this game works. You have to be specific because if you get it wrong, no one's going to give a shit. But if you get it right, you're going to look really smart. And I want you to look really smart.
All
I
right.
want you to take that lottery ticket.
I'm going to say Taylor Rogers then. It's going to be their next move.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that. I like that.
I want it to be Xander. Which, if you know me, that's not something you would have expected me to say a few months ago.
Boris is building up interest in even his biggest detractors.
I'm going with Xander. I'm going with the low-hanging fruit. I really want it to be Xander. But I think I'm going to go with something else first, actually. I think there's not going to be a signing first. I think there's going to be an extension.
Ooh.
And I think it has to do with Bogey. I think Devers signs an extension, and then Bogey's like, okay. Or either or. So Xander signs the contract, and then Bogey or Devers ends up signing the extension.
I like the way both of you think. I really hope you're right, Brad, because that would just ease, I think, the stress level.
If they do that, I literally do not give a flying fuck who they sign for anything.
It's like they're going to bring back Mike Kickman for the rotation to be the number 5 starter.
Nope, you can bring him back, bring Godley back. Don't give a shit as long as
they could bring Mike Carp back.
I like Mike Carp.
I liked Carp. I hated Kickham though. That's why he said Kickham, because he knows I fucking hate Mike Kickham. Isn't he with the Dodgers?
He was in Japan or Korea or something for a bit. I don't know what he's up to now. I didn't even put him on my 300 tracker, so I don't know. That as far as I'm concerned, he doesn't exist anymore. That's how that works. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm with pretty much everybody with wanting them badly to sign Bogarts just because, I'm extra motivated for wanting them to to bring back Bogarts because one, it's a good fit for the team. Two, if they don't re-sign him, we're going to be hearing about this for the next 20, 30 years, and I don't need another Mookie Betts. I don't need people to bring back the Mookie Betts stuff. So, that. Who do I think they're going to get? I'm going to say Mitch Haniger just because it makes sense to me. Seems like
I
he has a
love
market. Seems
that.
like they have to make a move. They can put him in right. They can use him as a DH. Yeah, I'm going to go Haniger.
I would.
Right,
not-
you were looking at your screen like something big happened. Did something big happen?
No, I looked up about fucking douchebag Kickham.
What's he up to now?
On February 15th, 2022, Kickham signed with the Algodoneros de Union Laguana of the Mexican League.
Oh, okay.
However, he was released on April 15th prior to the start of the LMB season. On the 27th, Kickham signed with the Mariachis de Guadalajara of the Mexican League. He made 2 appearances, giving up 5 earned runs in 2 1/3 innings pitched. Kickham was released on May 2nd.
We'll have to ask Quizzo about this league, just because I don't know much. I think Pablo Sandoval was playing in it, but
I fucking hate him. I don't know who I hate more, Sandoval or Kickham.
I mean, Kickham's harmless. They weren't paying him anything. He's just a guy.
I had never been excited about a signing like I was for Pablo Sandoval.
Why?
I would just love the guy. I bought 2 jerseys the day after he signed, and
Why
now
do you
they're
need 2 jerseys? Are you
now
going to
they're
wear
both
one
burnt.
one day and then another one the next day?
So I bought the red one and the navy blue one because I like the alternates a lot.
That's fair. That's fair.
He wanted to wear a dress. He wanted to wear something like Pablo. He was like, I'm going to get the fucking 16 XLs. I'll never fuck him. Seriously.
The
I
belt.
remember where I was when that was signed.
That's
I remember because I think did they get him and Hanley? It was like the same day, or
yeah.
I
And
imagine
my favorite part about that, I don't know who posted it, but it was on Facebook. It was the pants on the flagpole over Fenway, and it was like Hanley Ramirez's pants was like a regular. It was a cartoon, but it was Hanley Ramirez's pants for like a regular size jersey pants and whatnot, and then fucking Pablo's was like fucking triple XL, like these ginormous fucking. It was so fucking hilarious. When was the signing? When did that happen?
I don't remember the exact date. I just remember that I was working a shitty retail job. I used to work at a bookstore in Harvard Square, and I remember we weren't supposed to be on our phones or use the computers or anything like that, but I was, doing my thing, continually checking MLB trade rumors and seeing that come up and being like,
It was
what?
the day before Thanksgiving.
That's what
2014.
Wait, the date was it the day before?
Yeah.
That's wild. That's wild. In my head, it was closer to Christmas. It was mid-December. That's interesting.
Whatever. He's still a fat piece of shit. All right. Do we want to talk about Arson Judge?
Could you? I think that you need to explain to us what Arson Judge is.
I think you should explain the Arson Judge because it was definitely a fucking typo.
Yeah. So John Heyman, presumably from an account with 800 followers, got wind that Aaron Judge was going to the Giants. So presumably looked at his screen, saw, oh wow, no one's posting this. Oh my god, I'm gonna break the Judge news. I'm gonna do it. And he writes in Arson Judge to the Giants or whatever. Now this is a very clear typo. No, he deletes the arson part. I thought it might have been a dig, like he's burning down the Yankees or something like that, and Heyman was upset about it. But no, it was a typo because he deleted it, reposted it a few minutes later, and then deleted it again and apologized, saying that he had checked with his sources and they wouldn't confirm it. They haven't heard, and it was the Giants. It wasn't the Yankees. It was the Giants that said that he hadn't agreed yet. So, yeah, Heyman lost a little bit of credibility for that one. I feel like. Does that sum it up? Am I missing anything?
Nope, I don't think you are.
I like the nickname Arson Judge. I really do.
If he goes to the Giants, dude, holy shit. I will say this. If he goes to the Giants, I will buy an Arson Judge Giants jersey.
What do you think the Yankees do if he goes to the Giants? What do you think their move is? Because to me, I think that they pivot to Carlos Correa, but...
Well, supposedly, like I said earlier, it said that what's his name, Carlos Borrega or whatever his name is.
Bellinger, yeah.
He has him connected to the Giants as well.
Oh man, so that's like a double middle finger to the Yankees from the Giants then.
I think that they pivot to Carlos Rodon and then get Brandon Nimmo, and I think it's the two of them instead of Judge.
That's interesting. I just see what
Carabas.
What'd Carabas say?
He quote tweeted Susan Slusser. I don't know who that is, but she goes, Aaron Boone opens his manager session saying, "I know nothing. I really don't." And Carabas said, "This will be quote tweeted no fewer than 6,000 times next season." Bookmark. Yeah, he really doesn't know anything. Big deals. Do we have anything going on outside? Like, do we think anything's going to happen within the next couple days, hours?
I mean, I think the shortstop situation with the Cubs is going to be. It seems like they're starting to make noise with Bellinger. We'll know if they're bringing in Bogarts, if they're bringing in Swanson, if they're bringing in Correa. I think by the end of this, that's my thinking.
I'm going to be bold and say I think Aaron Judge signs in the next 6 hours.
In which case, when you are listening to this, he'll have already signed, and you will know if Tim was right or not.
And where does he sign?
You're making me do this?
Yeah.
San Francisco.
Dodgers are going to swoop in and take him.
It's going to be...
How cool would that be? That would be hilarious.
And then Mookie will play second base.
And then just to piss everybody off even more, they'll bring in Bogarts to play shortstop.
Jesus fucking Christ. Yep, that's exactly what they're gonna do. And they'll still lose.
I mean, in the NLCS.
They won't even get to the LCS. They'll have to play in the division and lose.
Can I ask you guys a question?
No.
Okay.
You can ask me a question, Tim. I'll always listen to you.
When do you think Bogart signs, if you had to put a date on it?
Oh, man. When do I realistically think he'll sign, or when will I kill myself because I can't deal with all this self-pity on Red Sox Twitter? Let's just say there's a 12:20 deadline on this for me because I cannot deal with these people.
I was thinking 12:20 as well.
Great minds, man.
Do you want to put a time on it so that we can see who's closer?
Yeah, 12:20.
12:20 in the afternoon.
On 12:20.
Or in the morning.
Afternoon, because that would be 12:20 military time. If it was it would be
00:20. I didn't know we were going military time, dickhead. Okay, well, if you're going 12:20 into a military, I'm going to go 13:20.
Ooh, so just a little later in the day. I dig it.
Scott Boras is just getting up to get his coffee.
Yeah, no, I like that. It's this is the Price is Right of over or under on, because we've already determined he's definitely signing on 12:20. That's right. Happening.
I'm gonna laugh if
God,
he signs
tomorrow.
If he signs on the 12th.
I just honestly.
He's gonna sign 12:22 at 14:22.
Why are Red Sox fans so
Oh.
extra emotional about this? Serious question. Why? We've been through this with so many players. Why does this one seem to be pissing people off extra?
Because there's social media. We're allowed to do it now. We can be vocal about everything. You can be super negative, and everybody loves to talk about it. Then you got people like Dan Shaughnessy, Tony Maz, and other accounts out there that are just negative about everything that the Red Sox do. And it's really, I don't know, dude. It's a cesspool. It really is.
It's sad to say, but you get more interactions when you're more negative, especially on Twitter.
Yeah,
That's
it's not
true.
wrong. Do you think so? You think that it's do you think that it's more clout driven then? Like who can be the most negative to get the most likes? Or because honestly, as much as like I do interact with people and like that type of thing, like I really don't enjoy interacting with people that are just have like shit in their soup all the time, It's not fun.
I don't like shit in my soup either.
Unless it's shit soup, then it's like, well, okay, this is what I ordered.
Yeah. All right. We got anything else we want to talk about before we end the episode?
I'm good.
I guess this is my first time on this since I started. I was alluding to this a little bit, but I'm making regular appearances on Rob Bradford's Baseball Isn't Boring throughout the offseason as their free agency analyst. So if you're listening to this and you're interested in hearing me talk about non-Red Sox stuff, we record every Sunday. It's like usually about a half-hour episode. Bradford's great. I've learned a lot, even in just the 3 weeks that I've been doing it. It's a pretty good show. They have some cool guests too. Joe Kelly was their first guest. He's part of their board of directors or whatever. They had Brett Phillips on, Buster Olney, the guys from MLB Trade Rumors. It's a good show. Definitely worth a listen. You can follow them on Twitter at B-Ball Isn't Boring. So that's my plug for that.
I have to second Bradford is a swell guy. I had him on the show a couple times, talked to him, met him in person for the first time this past season. Super fun guy to talk to, very knowledgeable, pretty funny dude as well. Pretty pumped for you, Ed. You've actually been on since you joined, and we've actually talked about it before, but nonetheless, still excited for you in the whole opportunity that you have. So
Dude, the days are blurring into one right now.
No, I got you, dude.
As this winter
I
goes
totally
on,
got you. All right. Well, there is one thing I'd like to mention. Right now, we are in the process of a new intro, and we will have that most likely before the season starts. Hopefully before that. I hope it's actually before spring training. We're starting on it. We've got something working and whatnot. So we'll get rid of the JD Martinez and whatnot. And So, Tim, pleasure having you on. Ed, pleasure having you on as well and chatting with you.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Pasky Report. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a review.
Thank you for listening to this Belly Up Sports Podcast Network product. Some said we go belly up, so we made it our name,